It's got like a little pep to it.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. That's a great line, by the way.
Yep.
It's like building. I mean, it's got a little beat. Got a little beat.
Come on. Like
Got a little beat.
one song, right? Andy Grammer, God bless him. You get one tune, then everybody proceeds to be Andy Grammer for like
Yes.
5 years, and then
Yes.
somebody else will come out with something, and then we'll be like, oh.
Yep. Yeah, that is actually true. I do
But
like Andy. I do. And it's been a minute. I mean, that's like something. When I just pulled the song up, he was on. He was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
10 years ago. 2015. It said he was on Dancing with the Stars. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. What are you talking about right now?
10 years ago.
Mm-mm.
Why are we old? What is happening?
Why? Listen.
What happened? 10 years.
I can't. So fun fact, somebody asked me last week, they were like, oh, do you know Jim Stroud? And I was like, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And they're talking and saying all the great things about Jim Stroud. And what was funny was I pulled up a picture. In the picture is me, Jim Stroud, Jeremy, Robert, Jerry Crispin, Glenn Cathy, that lady from that place in Seattle. Don't ask
that
me.
lady.
I know who she is. I can't remember her name. And Shannon Pritchett. And it was from 14 years ago.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, don't
I was like,
because honestly, 2011 was like just a couple years ago.
But also, our kids were 11 in 2011. Or I had an 11. Yeah, I have a 2000. I know. Clay was just here. We had services for my brother. Clay came in town and, bought their own ticket, flew themselves in, and bought their own ticket for Thanksgiving. And they were also concerned they wanted to remind me that they are now paying for their own cell phone bill.
I mean, go ahead.
So life has changed.
How's the career going there? What's happening there?
They have, I mean, they're doing good. They're actually a hostess at like a Palladino's Italian steakhouse in Grand Central.
Okay.
Which
is the modeling thing slowing down?
Yes. And they said that they wanted to take a little break.
Yeah. But I think it's also the economy, the brand spend,
and how you decide to use that spend. Like,
well, we don't have to pay.
Advertise.
We don't have to pay people to be models. I can.
You have to pay people to be models, but
have you seen the AI models instead? The AI models in commercials that are being done instead. We don't have to do union wage. We don't have to. We just create them in a little AI bit.
But guess what you find out?
They ain't real.
You can't do that's what is really weird. Like, to try to explain to AI how to hold your hand in such a way to show a ring. Like, there is some modeling things that just doesn't translate. But also, if you're just trying to show a ring, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean,
if you don't want anybody to feel any kind of way.
If you don't care about, it's really interesting because the pace of the commercial, right? So you speed up the commercial's video,
right,
by a little bit, and your brain, if he's texting you, it's over.
It's me. It's my fault.
The brain is going to just see people in the background and not have, like, your eye isn't going to be able to really like focus
No.
in, right? And
Well,
so
you
they're
know
like,
what's
well, why bother having like a commuter scene on a train with people in the background? We'll just have AI create that and then overlay the one actor or
right?
whatever, and that's it.
Well, what's so weird is that I don't know if you've noticed this. Like we already have seen like a decrease of like actual reading and paying attention and what gets people's attention. But now
Reading,
we're like,
reading.
I don't even want to see anything. Like I'm like, I don't. And then the things that I'm getting interested in, besides bagels, are like so random because they're so real. I have an interest where I never had an interest before.
It's I there's so much to talk about. I know we're talking about gratitude today,
Well, but
but there's so much to talk about because and I saw, oh, by the way, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I saw David is here, and David said he needs that shirt. Oh no, Waco Wi-Fi. Waco Wi-Fi. She's all frozen. She's all frozen. Look at her. Um, David put that he needs that shirt just as a call out. Joe and the team at Zoom have sent us that care package with shirts and mugs and all. Thank you all from Zoom. Thanks for sending that. Again, including the shirt that Jackye is wearing, and hopefully she'll get back to us momentarily. But uh, they were all over as I reduce everything. They were all over the news if you've not been watching because Zoom has acquired BrightHire. And so I'm curious for all the peeps that are with us. Anybody using BrightHire? Is that a platform that you currently have sort of embedded in your tech stack? If so, please give that shout out in the chat if you are using BrightHire. If you have used it and you're not using it currently, yes, give some thoughts on that as well. I will tell you, I have not directly used BrightHire before, so I don't have firsthand knowledge on uh, anything. Quite frankly, anything in terms of workflows and the product itself. So those of you who've used it would love to see that in the chat to give us a little bit of the skinny. But how interesting, right? Zoom knows that the interviewing space, the video interviewing space, and the utilization of its platform is something that they needed to sort of monetize differently. Um, and I just got a text message. The Clayton House lost power. Hopefully it is okay. And now it just came back up. Oh my goodness, the power flickered in Waco. Must be that the silos at Chip and JoJo's place just they're plugging in all the lights for Christmas, and so just sucked all the power out of Waco. I'm sure that's probably what happened. So anyway, so Zoom kind of double down on this. Look, we got to get in the mix, and we need to categorize specifically, not just generally, that we're a what is happening. This platform is having all kinds of issues. All kinds of issues today, Restream. All kinds of issues. Hey, Jeremy, thank you. Yes, storms in Texas. That is actually important to know, which is probably why Jackye is having issues. But it looks like Restream is based in Texas because it's just shutting down and powering back up and muting me and taking me off camera all by itself. I'm not touching a thing. So, gotta love that. Anyway, so Zoom has chosen by buying BrightHire to sort of throw their hat in to say we're not necessarily going to just be available to anybody for all the things. This will be what I'm curious to see. How are they going to segment its utilization separate from the specificity of BrightHire, right? Because anybody can have a Zoom account and conduct all kinds of interviews and do all the things. Or is there going to be sort of a clamp down on usage? Are we going to wind up having to monetize other parts of Zoom's business in order to make the acquisition of BrightHire really, really worth it, right? In order by saying you can only do that thing through this mechanism that we own. I don't see how they're going to not have something that really points that out. Jeremy, thank you. Yes, will be interesting to see if Zoom think that this HR tech ROI is worth it, right? It is it's so funny because when you're in the world, and Jeremy has been around for a minute, as I have, when you're in the world, like HR tech seems so vast and expansive because it's all we know, right? We are tied into it. But really, when you look in the overall market, HR tech is so infinitesimally small compared to other categories of tech. It's not as big as we kind of make it out to be, but it's big for us because so much of what we do is sort of baked into this. And I don't know if Zoom's and I know Joe is not here with us this morning. I was hoping Joe could show up, but be really interesting to hear what that sort of internal comms strategy has been at Zoom about this acquisition. What have they told their current staff about the why? Why did we choose to do this? What is the goal of why we've done this, right? So I would love to hear again what that is inside the insider track, what that conversation has been like. Oh, I saw her for a second. What happened to her? There she goes. Oh my goodness. You have storms. Jeremy said you've got some storms happening in Texas. So
I'm moving
don't tell me.
back to Portland.
I said I think it's Chip and JoJo plugged in the Christmas lights at the silos, and that's it. Sucked all the power out. Waco's
That
done.
too. By the way, I did go. One thing, we do have a special guest that's causing mass chaos.
Oh
Hendrix.
no.
Hendrix
Mass
is.
chaos. That dog doesn't look like it's doing a thing.
You would think that. Obviously, you're not a dog.
No.
He's doing plenty. And Clay and I did go to the silos. They were here last week. Yes,
Oh.
and all of the Christmas is available, including a Joanna Gaines Barbie. You can limit yourself to only 3 and a Joanna Gaines Barbie dream house.
You're joking.
No, fully decorated by Joe.
First of all, I mean, I'm sorry.
That
Joanna Gaines she
is
is an attractive woman. She is an
absolutely
attractive.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love the concept in the theory. I just was like, only 3.
I mean,
Apparently, you can only buy them at the silos. Like, you cannot
I'm
buy them.
sure that's true. You can't get them anywhere else. I bet you that is
They
true.
sold out in
I
5 minutes at Target.com.
smartest marketing.
Artist. And
Smartest.
there's Silobration, and right now they're having Christmas at the silos. Weren't trying to go to Christmas at the silos. Clay said, we went to breakfast and said, let's go see some antiques. And I was like, have you ever been to the silos? And they were like, no. And I was like, let's go.
How fun. You missed all the conversation we were having about BrightHire and Zoom. So Joe is not with us today, doesn't seem. So I wanted to get the inside scoop on some stuff. But Joe's not here. We'll talk about him. Shame on you, Joe. If you watch us later, comment, Joe.
You're grateful today. We are talking about gratitude. You don't sound very grateful.
I'm angry. Where are you at? Where are you at, Joe?
Still building. Obviously, John is still building his culture of gratitude. It's a little tough.
So that is all jokes aside. I'm curious, so I'm going to say hard things. So get ready. You ready?
Okay.
The wisdom of Jackye Clayton, everyone. Jacqueline, it has been a hard season. There, obviously, the workforce, the economy, right? Lots of layoff type stuff happening for people. There are also personal difficulties. You have been through some recent personal tragedies and difficulties.
Right.
How, for real, how do you consider gratitude and decide from a discipline standpoint, I'm going to adopt this attitude into how I exist?
That's a great question. What is interesting is that what I didn't realize and you're being very generous when you're like, there's been some recent tragedies. I think
I
it
know.
started actually on January 16th and it has steamrolled every 4 to 6 weeks since something.
It's been a year. It's been a year.
Literally, when I post things on my personal channels, people are just like sitting there with their mouth open, and I'm like, I know. I also recognize like it's just my time, and so I recognize that while it is tragic, it also is temporary. Where are the spaces? Where are the gaps and things that I've been ignoring
Hmm.
because of something else? Like, for example, if you have maybe you have a car and because of circumstances you're unable to make a car payment and your car gets repossessed. The first thing to do would be absolutely, you'd be tragic and upset and not know what to do and figuring out. But then later it's like, oh, I haven't taken a walk in a really long time. I
Hmm.
never noticed the trees along the walkway. I haven't talked to my neighbors and now I do. I didn't realize that they had these things. So it's trying to find out
Hmm.
those pieces and really kind of look at now if I have a gap in relationships in job, like what kind of jobs you're doing, maybe I have another space I can do something I haven't done for a long time and look at what I haven't done for a long time. So it was interesting having so the whole family was here, and we went to Michael's and
Hmm.
we bought a paint at home board
I know
and
you did.
started painting. And it was like, when's the last time that you've painted individually, let alone with a whole family? We had jazz on in the background. We split a bottle of Prosecco 4 ways and started painting.
How can you do that? Your children are 10 and 12. So how is that happening?
Yeah, 22 and 25. Todd, no need to bring the art, because it's air quote art. Todd doesn't
And
and
the Waco
it's
Wi-Fi is at it again. There
I
we go. You're choppy with the Waco Wi-Fi.
like I said, the electricity went out, and I don't know. It'll be back.
Oh, yeah,
So what?
yeah, yeah. You're blurry back. Show the picture again.
Are you sure it's not cute?
Yeah, because it wasn't. Oh, never mind.
That wasn't the internet. That's just my painting capability. Yes, you can come to the Clayton Gallery at any time and get your bagels. But like, I really
Oh
didn't.
my
I think
gosh.
Clay was like looking at me like really insane, and I was like, Clay, I used to bake, like I used to feverishly bake, and so like when they came home, I was like, "Do you want French toast?" And they were like, they looked at me like I was crazy because I was making French toast, and they were like, "It's so good. Why is this French toast so good?" I was like, "Oh, I made the bread." They were like,
Yes.
"What has happened?" They have no idea.
Kathy has been making the bread as well. Kathy's been making the bread a lot.
Because
Sourdough and freshly milled. She's buying the burlap bags of wheat berries and
stop,
milling her own and
stop
baking bread.
it.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm serious. I'm like,
We're
this is
yes.
just like Little House on the Prairie. I think it's just like Little House on the Prairie. I wouldn't know personally, but I think it's just like that.
I don't think it is.
I mean, they had to bake their own bread somehow. Like, didn't they mill their own back then with oxen? I don't know. I would think.
With oxen carrying around the big
Yes,
stone
isn't that
wheel.
how it goes? I
That's what it
mean,
says
that's
on the picture. I mean, but I have had like a public school education. I'm sure at some point we're not going to find any oxen fossils. There'll be like no oxen. There was not an oxen in the U.S. It's only a matter of time.
Oh my gosh.
Back to your original question, and I am on my like cell phone wireless.
Mm,
Like,
it's better.
so
It's
I
better.
I I don't know. It's really
You do
focusing
need to move out
on
of Waco, though. Get out of Waco.
what and go
Because
back to
the technology, Baylor University is like down the street. These people don't have it together there yet. What is happening
I
there?
think they get all of it. They're like, nobody's doing anything over there. Send it all over here.
We'll take all the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But
I
what
mean,
do you
I was just going to say, I've had some conversations with some people recently where um, it's a lot of doom and gloom. Like the sensibility that they have is just a lot of like, things are not great. I don't think things are going to get great. I'm struggling to make ends meet. I'm struggling to find my way. I'm struggling to see what my career is going to be. I'm just struggling all over the place. And
well, I
the,
think it's
you know what I
about
mean?
what you I and that's the thing. It's like what can you control? Going back to focusing on what you can control.
Right. Right. I mean, look at you sitting here right now with Wi-Fi choices you're trying to make to figure out what the right one's going to be, right? Like we can laugh about it, but you've you've um you're demonstrating what people are trying to figure out. I mean, there are people who are, and if you are one of these people, please know I'm not saying this stuff frivolously or cavalier. It's hard to have a thankful attitude when you're like, I have been out of work for 6 months and I'm feeling some sort of way about that. Or it has been a really difficult time for me because family has been difficult. I've got a couple of friends this year who have gone through divorce. And so they're like feeling the things. I've got friends who have lost a parent this year. And so in that sort of sandwichy kind of generation thing, right? And who are watching, let's say, adult children struggle to find a job. And so they're all like, there's all of these like angst kind of emotions you're trying to deal with. And here comes Baldino and Jackye saying, let's talk about gratitude.
Let's be grateful. Listen, I wish I could. No, I mean, like, also, no, not kidding. And this is part.
Mm.
I love dogs, and I know you love dogs, just not Milo. And I mean, personalities do account for some of
In
it.
general,
And
I
my,
like dogs, the
not
general concept of a dog, not actually directly.
no,
Yeah.
the personality. Yeah, if you like the concept of a dog, of a best friend that follows instructions, that's well trained. Milo,
Meanwhile, the one in my house is always like,
because I mean, if you ask
just love me, just
me,
love me.
yes, and I would. Yeah, and you're like, no. If you would send love to Milo, maybe he'd stop begging for attention. But I have noticed, like we made soup together. It's something that we can control. Something
You
that
and
you
the dog?
well, not really. Me and my husband, we like made soups. I like this bagel project has been really, really interesting. We started like figuring out where we can have the control. And what's interesting is that we're learning not just new hobbies, but like new things about new cultures, about, you know, I was laughing yesterday. Of course, my oldest is from Brooklyn, where so many people in New York City, I'm pretty sure low key, the perfect bagel was made in one of those boroughs.
Oh,
People
yeah.
will say Brooklyn, but it's one of those boroughs that
Yeah.
perfected
Yeah.
the bagel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're adding all these things, and oh,
It's
don't
not
tell the
Brooklyn.
people of Brooklyn.
I would bet, I would actually say Queens would be my
You're saying
guess.
Queens? I think
Yeah.
the people of Brooklyn will tell you Brooklyn,
Yeah. Of
whether
course they
it's
will.
right. Um,
Freaking hipsters.
but it's like, but trying to figure out like all of the background and the history and things have been makes you say, oh, now I know something. I feel like I'm a part of something bigger because you feel something so small. I mean, turn the TV off, like
Well,
turn
and
your YouTube off
this
and
is
look at the things that you have and you own and can control.
the big P is the problem. Big P, capital P, pivot, which I half hate that word because I know we use it a lot, but genuinely, it's really the best word. Like it is big P, capital P time pivot. And I listen to you talk about, and I don't know that everybody really can appreciate this, but I want to say it because I want to affirm our millions of fans
That's
who
right.
are themselves leaning into the switcheroo. Here you are talking about your dog business, about making bagels, thinking about what business might even come out of that. Could there
Right.
be a business that comes out of that?
Right.
The idea of that kind of pivot, I would say you have two choices with that. You either do it, hide it, or just try not to make as big of a deal out of it because you're like, I don't want colleagues to know that I'm supposed to be this X and I'm operating as Y. And so we operate in shame. And that
That is such a horrible. You're so
I
right.
know, right? Like that is just, and that's one of two choices. The other choice is, my gosh, I'm grateful that I can pivot and try to make something else work. And what's the worst that's going to happen? Nobody likes my
Well,
bagels. Okay, well,
okay, but somebody said
somebody
to
will,
me,
and the dogs will. You can
the
convert those
dogs,
suckers into treats. That's for sure.
because honey,
Ooh, I said the word out loud for them. I'm sorry.
because
I know.
I literally have like 16 dogs in my house right now. But the thing that is somebody said to me, they started laughing, like said, oh, like I said something. I was like, well, I've been really busy. They were like, what? On your poop business? And I was like, mortgage company doesn't ask where the money comes from.
That's
Like,
right.
what are you gonna do? What? You're gonna like just like starve your kids? Like, what are you gonna do? And I was
Right.
like, but here's the thing that I didn't realize until more recently, for real. Like, this is as someone who we both have adult children, we know that this is not the hardest season of life. Okay, because we all remember no sleep and no money. At least I can sleep. Like when
Right.
you have no sleep, when you're not
That's
sure
right.
what you're
That's
doing, and like there's that.
yes.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, I know this is hard. This is not going to be the hardest season. But the other thing is when you allow yourself to rest into those moments, then you can actually appreciate other things and people. Like it's not just like you have an interest. So backing up, knowing about my surgery, and by the way, look at that scar. It looks great, right?
It's really looking good, honestly.
I mean, when we saw each other a couple weeks ago, I think it's really important. John and I were texting feverishly. I didn't want to go. I was in pain. I was like sad. I was like humbled, did not want to go. As soon as I went and to TalentNet and I see everybody, I felt like, oh my gosh, I forgot like some of my real friends are in this room that I haven't seen in a really long time. I was shame, and it was my own shame plus physical pain is never good. Like and
No,
you don't make really good decisions when you're like in pain
but
or
I
on.
did love the fact that you were running people over with a walker.
I
That
was,
was the
as
best
soon as
part.
I came in, I was like, you know what? Now I'm in. Boom.
Boom.
Knowing that piece, like, but also when you are relaxed into those moments, you realize all of the other things that you're missing. Like you're not seeing it for what it is. And you're not able to appreciate some of those things. Like sometimes
Mm.
you've lost who you are. You are more than this moment. And the challenge, we had someone on Inclusive AF yesterday with B Corp, and they are companies that start with heart, and
Mm.
it's beyond mission, the things that you have to implement in order to be a B Corp. And the reason I bring that up is because we were talking about our show about people being embarrassed of where they work and the type of work that they're doing because it doesn't align with what their personal mission is. So many people are in that season where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed, but also I don't have, I have to feel like they have to take a job that they're less than proud of. When you can, really, if you take the time, you're forgetting, what are you really excited about? What,
Yes.
maybe you can do something. I mean, am I going to sell bagels out of the house? Probably not. But,
But maybe.
but maybe I will.
I mean, out of
Why not?
Todd's truck, I would sell them out of his truck before I sell
Listen,
them out of the house. Drive those
this
suckers
is what
around.
I found out that I didn't know. Like, if you wanted to sell out of your house in Texas, all you had to do was take a food handling class. It's
Yes.
$15. They have a $10 off coupon. It's $5. I can sell bagels out of my house in 5 minutes. Never knew that. But what I was starting to say is, like, when I had the surgery and I went to physical therapy, we were doing these weird moves, and they said, this is going to remind your body, tell your body that you want to heal.
Mm.
So we're doing these moves. So your body says, okay, that's where we're going. We'll heal. How many of us don't do physical therapy for our own brains and says, this tells your brain,
Yes.
I need to learn something new. And your brain will follow suit. Like, okay, if you're like me and John, who are full work, like we're all in. So it's like, oh, I'm making bagels. Okay.
Okay.
I got the, like, freaking Kathy with
Yes.
she's like, I'm
She's
milling bagels, which is,
milling the wheat berries.
which
But,
is a little ridiculous, but
it's
still
it's healthier, and I have to tell you, there's a
tastier.
difference because it's not, all this enriched, chemicalized kind of flour. It's different. It's good, though. I find it hard to believe that we are people in our 50s and we still have to worry about the crowd. Like when I'm 13 and I care so much about what other 8th graders think about me. I get that. That's part of adolescence.
Right.
It's unfortunate in some ways, but I get it. When you're not 13 and you're 53, go 40 years later,
Yeah.
and you're still like, I don't know if I'm going to be embarrassed. I got to think about what the crowd's going to think. It's never going to get better then. You just have to make the decision and say, I'm so grateful that I'm 53, which, by the way, I'm not. I'm older, but I'm so grateful that I'm
You're grateful that you
53.
saw 53.
These people aren't living my life. Why am I so burdened
That's
by
right.
that perspective for people who don't have any sort of power to speak into my life? I'm giving them power to do that. I need to be grateful and say, I have the fortitude to be able to make a change, to figure out ways to support my family. Listen, and I think Jeremy put in here, like he tried to make ends meet as well by driving a limo at some point. And like, I've worked part-time at other places. Like, you just do what you got to do to make things
You
work.
just do what you
And
gotta do.
and who cares about what anybody else might think? Like, oh, you went to college and that's what you're doing? Yeah, I went to college and this is what I'm doing. What does that mean?
I mean, I obviously everybody knows my husband because, he
Because he talks
texts
to
me in the
everyone.
middle of the show, and he talks to everyone, and he sends people like Instagram messages.
Yeah,
But also
inappropriate pictures, at least to my
inappropriate pictures. Hey,
message.
we gotta
Right.
make a living. Everybody's gotta,
Don't look at his phone and what he sends me.
yeah, don't go to onlytodd.com.
My gosh.
Actually, really don't. Because I don't know what it is and I don't want to be whatever. But I mean,
Warning.
I was looking at him and we know, like, I've never seen him happier. when I see him go to people's backyards and the dogs come out and he videos it, and if you've seen those videos, he's the happiest I've ever seen him. And it is because, and those are things that you may not be able to get in your current situation. And it is, it's Thanksgiving. You can be like grateful, but sometimes you're moving too fast. It's not like people say stop and smell the roses. It's not even the roses. Like, you're never getting to the roses. It is like you were able to wake up in a soft bed. I remember
But
like
that's a rose, by the way.
that's
Like,
the
it's also defining what the roses
that's right.
are, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know.
mean, it's just, that's the thing I think sometimes people forget is like, look, Powerball is not in everyone's future. Winning Powerball is not in everyone's future. Just, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's just not. So if I keep holding that out there as if that's where I will ultimately be happy, we set ourselves up for so much disappointment. And I think that when I think about now to pull it into one specific vein, when I think about the job market, I know that some of us get so wrapped up and burdened by data. And I like data. Please don't at me. I do like it a lot. So the numbers just came out. I don't know if you saw that this morning, because they are catching up from the government shutdown.
Yeah.
The surprising number of jobs that were added, right? And for people to know, this is through payroll companies, because all the, who's got new hire reporting and that kind of stuff that goes on. Surprising number, but unemployment also went up 0.1%. We went up to 4.4. At 4.4 from 4.3, yeah, that, or 4.3 from 4.2, one or the other. We went up 0.1, and people are going, well, wait, how can that be? Yeah, both things can be true.
Yeah.
Both things can be true.
Like, to keep in mind, depending on where you are, like, I'm not on unemployment. Like, I don't,
I
I'm
was
like,
just
I'm
going to say
X'd
that
out.
not everybody's on there, right?
I'm
Yes, or
X'd out
fell
every week.
off. Yeah, yes.
So, but here's the other part. Like, there's a movie that's coming out, and again, it's Kate Hudson and not Hugh, what's that guy's name?
Is it the Neil Diamond one? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that movie, which again, when you
I'm,
live a life in pain, one day I won't have pain. When you live a life of pain, you're up in the middle of the night, the rabbit holes you go down. So, looking at the original story from the documentary, this is a couple that had a Neil Diamond tribute band.
yeah.
That was their dream. That's what they chased. She's still chasing it. And I was just like, there's a scene where she's like, maybe I should get a 9 to 5. And her daughter's like, no, you should just go after your dream. Like, how many of you wrote that off because of
Yeah.
location, children, activity, parents, whatever, and are burdened? Look at what you're doing as a burden without looking at the opportunities of being either grateful to have the resources to be able to do the next thing.
Well, and I mean, there's so much in that. It's so good that you said that. There's so much in that, because one, um, I'm, when we started today, I was saying that, Andy Grammer was on Dancing with the Stars 10 years ago, right? And it was like, that just felt like a couple of years ago, but it was 10 years ago. So I mentioned as we were prepping for today that, we're going to talk about Bright Hire, and we're going to talk about Hack a Job. And so one of the things that with what you're saying that it reminds me of is, here's a platform that's 10 years old, 10 plus years old. And we're at a place where we've got platforms that were once up and coming that are now established. And sometimes we then start to feel some sort of way about establishment.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this isn't like the cutting edge it once was. We, I'm going to keep saying it, we make problems for ourselves. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Platform, by the way, continues to advance, do wonderful things. If you've not checked out Hack a Job, get in there and look at some stuff. They're not a sponsor. I'm just, the age doesn't mean irrelevance. And we do this so much. It's so annoying to me because we force people to have to be more deliberate about, you said, stealing my joy.
Mhm.
Like, because what winds up happening is people sit in a room and they're like, oh crap, Humoriso's, over 13 years old. Ugh, we're not the darling anymore. There's all these other little newbies that are coming up. Uh-oh, nobody's going to want us anymore. And then you hear things like, well, you guys have been around for a while. Well, you guys, aren't you getting acquired yet? Well, aren't you guys there? Aren't you? And then all of a sudden, Baldino, if unchecked, can sit back in a dark room crying in a corner saying, I have done all of this wrong. Everything's terrible. Why? Why do we do this? It steals our joy. We have a problem being grateful. Look, it's been 13 years. Awesome. Awesome.
But also,
it could go away tomorrow, but awesome.
It could. But also, think about this, and it's a funny moment. So, a number of years back, we were at a restaurant, and the food was taking a while, and we weren't really sure what was going.
Me and you, or you and Todd?
No, me and Todd, we. But I mean, this
We've
has
been at
happened.
restaurants. Yes, just make
We
sure.
have been at many a restaurant. We've had many a meal. But when we were there, they were like, "Do you want some extra bread? It's going to be a while for your food to come." And we were like, "Why?" We're like, "The computer's shut down." It's like,
right.
computer making fish. They're no, but they don't have the order, and it's like, do you want to write it down?
You want to just write it down. I've got.
No, we have a ticket system. It's like, so what's interesting now is
Oh my gosh.
people have like, what's interesting, and I'm obsessed with the bagels. So people are like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you can make bagels at home." How many things have we accepted without realizing we are just receiving information instead of researching and touching literal grass? Like my son said, "When was the last time you actually took your shoes off and touched grass?" And I was like, "It has to be 5 years old because that's disgusting." But I have, but like, but
Ew.
whatever
Ew.
grass is in your, we were looking at that. So we were at my father's house, and the kids were like, "Oh my god, so let's talk about encyclopedias." And it was like, yes, they were leather bound, very expensive. You had to buy them every year because
Yes.
you didn't.
Yes.
That's why it was so important to quote your sources, not to prove that you had a source, just in case you were wrong. They were like, because I was like, if you don't have transportation and you didn't have your own set, you could be off by 2 years. So the population of Texas is not the same as what you based your whole information. And now it is absolutely ridiculous to think that someone plagiarizes another paper when you have access to all these resources. But instead of looking, you just are going to take like Sally's information,
Yes.
or you're going to listen to the people on CBS, or you're going to read the Wall Street Journal, and that's it. And you don't even know where they got the information.
Yes.
Some of these HR like blogs where it says it said in the Workday survey that this happened. Well, that survey was 4 years ago.
Right. That's the other thing.
And written by a person who was uncredible 4 years ago.
And so is the data wrong? No.
No.
Is it seasoned? Yes. Do
Yes.
we need to look at you're so right. There are times we don't look to see how old it is. When is it from? What was the context of how
And
the
is it
survey was
relevant
done?
to you?
Yeah.
Like
And
like
we
with
cry in a
those
corner.
people
Oh.
try to come up with the answer instead of taking the steps to figure out the answer for themselves. And so that's why we don't see the risk, because people don't want to do the work to find out the answers, that they're just complicit.
Well, we are, and this is when you look at the workplace, we sometimes are such creatures of labeling. Like we just want to, like, this is where you fit, this is where you fit, this is where you fit, and no overlap.
Right.
You cannot go any further than these boundaries I've put up. So yesterday, we didn't talk yesterday. I got to share at FRBR yesterday with our buddies, right? Brian Fink and Steve Levy, who, my gosh. And I mean,
With
so
both of them at the same time.
I mean, he is funny, right? Vanessa Rath and
Yeah,
Rachel was one of the speakers as well, and like just did lovely. Anyway, so FRBR, for recruiters by recruiters, that's what it stands for. I had someone message me in a pseudo loving way and say, how'd you get picked for this? And I was like, oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I've been around for a minute. And they were like, no, you're not a recruiter. And I was like, well, what am I? That was my answer. Well, what am I? If I'm not that, fine. What am I? Because it wasn't really that I was trying to pick a fight. It was like, tell me how you categorize me. And the response was, you're HR. And I was like, okay, I get that. So tell me the difference between, and what winds up happening is the experience of an individual who worked in a place where there was great divide between talent acquisition and human resources. And I told the person, funny enough, that's why I'm on FRBR. I'm going to talk about this crazy divide that we have between these areas of professionalism that we've got to bring together to help us be successful. We can't afford to operate in silos right now at all. It's not at all. And so I was like, that is exactly why I think I'm being asked to share, because we've got to bridge this divide. But it was such like proof right there, just case in point that, no, John, you're great at the HR stuff. You're not. It says for recruiters by recruiters. You're not a recruiter. You shouldn't be. Well, first of all, I've been recruiting for the entire time I've been in HR. I've never not recruited. Right. It's always been part of the job duties in some way.
Someone asked me why I would lead talent acquisition, because they said, I didn't know you ever recruited.
And you're the same thing. It's like, well, what is the data that you're leaning on for that?
What do you mean?
What do you
like and people take titles where it's like, oh, well, you were like a strategist. It was like for recruiting. Yeah, right. But you did director of customer success for recruiters. Like, I'm sorry that it hasn't fit into your paragraph.
Yes.
And so again, like, it is difficult as you're trying to, I think it's difficult for people to decide, am I my job? Is my job something that I do? And then what am I? Your gratitude,
yes,
what you're grateful for, shows you might be out of alignment of what you're like, how you see yourself.
That's it. That's right.
Back. Like my attitude, I talk to a lot of nonprofits. They're like, oh, you don't do nonprofit work. And I started saying, that's just a tax status. It's a company. Like, let's figure out how this thing goes.
We still have to figure things out.
Oh, I never thought of it like that. It's like, why not? That's a problem. So you're with the ones.
I love that. We work with nonprofits and they're like, are you used to working with nonprofits? I'm like, well, what does that mean? And they're like, well, we don't have much money. And I was like, yeah, but when you get sued for whatever infraction in the HR and that you're doing, the courts don't say, well, normally this would be a $7 million fine, but because you're a nonprofit, it's $10. They don't ever say that.
Never. No, the difference is I'm going to hold you accountable for your mission versus not hold you accountable. That's the difference between nonprofit and for-profit. If you're for-profit, you don't have to do any of that stuff.
Did you win this, by the way? Jeremy posted a company from Texas won Best Bagel. Is it you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But as you saw by the picture, I'm close.
I mean, getting there.
I am so close.
And I'm serious when I say I love what you're sharing, because part of the alignment conversation, you used that great word, alignment. Part of the alignment conversation is, where did the determinant of alignment come from? Meaning, like, what are you aligning to? Is that the right thing to align to? Well, wait a minute. I just thought it was. Did you ever look at it to say that's worthy of my attention? Because I'm like trying to figure out how I can make everybody, if I wanted to, right, make everybody happy with. I don't need to worry about making everybody happy. I love my varied background. I love the fact that I've gotten to touch as many components of talent acquisition and talent management and talent strategy as I have for decades. Like, I love that. Does it fit into a nice, neat little box that, with a bow? And when someone says, well, John, we have, let's say I'm looking for a job. We have this great job in HR technology for an HR technology company. We need someone who has HR experience, but also heavy technical experience. I don't see here that you've ever worked directly for Amazon or for Apple, or you haven't worked for Workday or SAP directly. Therefore, you must not know the things we need you to know about HR tech. Okay, you can think that, but I'm here to tell you I know differently, because I'm not going to align to that definition. I'm going to align to the practicality of it. You and I have implemented a bajillion systems
That's right.
for a bajillion different kinds of companies.
Right.
What don't I know? Tell me, what don't I know?
Right.
I got to turn it around to say, I'm not going to not be thankful. I'm grateful for my experience. You
That's
tell
right.
me what it is you think I don't have when you say that.
I
Ask them.
just want to know, like, the funny part is people still in talking. I just gave a session about like high tech, high touch about recruiting. And
Yeah.
it was like, you the challenge and the challenge within technology is that on average the average recruiter is staying between 18 months and 24 months, before they realize this is really hard and it's kind of stuck. And so if you've been there, you're like the Easter bunny. If you've been doing this job for 20 years, there's something wrong with you, right?
18 months. This job sucks.
They're like, so when you tell them, actually, maybe you can do this, and they're like, no, nobody's done this. It's not because you're an idiot. It's because you actually know this job. And since we haven't done that in a long time, since we've changed, like someone goes, oh, we're not going to use AI because we can't be held accountable. We're not sure about like the bias and the things. And I was like, which one of the 18 companies that you use right now are you going to blame for the whatever happens? Is it going to be your HRIS that uses AI? Is it going to be this that uses AI? Or is it the person that implemented the AI? Is it the person who chose the AI? Is the
It's
person
being used.
like, or
It's
is it the
being
data
used.
point? Like, freaking, where'd you get your report from? Like, maybe it's their AI system. Like, there's so much like disparate data. Like,
It,
it's important that
it,
you
it
find out
is.
for yourself where this data is coming from and how it works for your organization,
And
and
how it will be measured. And
how
how
it's
it will be measured.
don't
Yeah.
count on somebody who doesn't know you, doesn't know your company, doesn't know who you work with. Stop using
Did
like
you see Meta yeah, they're going to start assessing AI skill adoption, and whether what your comfort level is as
this
an
thing.
individual contributor to the usage of AI in the system. And if you're not at the level they need you to be, they're going to performance you up or kick you out.
That's right. And fun fact, Meta is also restricting teenagers in Australia from having social accounts. This
There's a whole.
world, y'all, y'all were worried about bias. People are hurting other people.
I mean, did you see Roblox as well? Just announced. I mean, that whole game system, they have put into place similar restrictions now. If you're between particular ages, you're only going to be able to have direct chats with adults, anybody who's over 18 that is in your circle. And again, I'm not a big Roblox person, but
Right.
very specific. And if you're 9 years of age, because kids are playing Roblox,
Yeah.
you can't private chat with anyone. They are removing that because of the predatory nature of everything that we have out there that people can misuse. Like this is today, folks. This is not like, and I have to tell you, if I'm as a parent, if my kids were little, like, I'm kind of grateful for that, because I can't sit next to them every minute to know everything that's happening.
I was looking at, a lady's doing her grocery shopping, or she has her kid in her buggy and they have an iPad and they're looking at the thing. If you think for one half of 1 second they don't know that your kid is looking at that iPad
Oh
in
yeah.
the HEB and showing that kid Lucky Charms as the ad while you're going through the things, you are sadly mistaken. And that's what we're finding out, that the information
Buy the
you
Lucky Charms, though.
given
Buy the Lucky
by
Charms.
the
It's
Lucky
worth it.
Charms, they
It's worth
have
it.
purple diamonds, my favorite. If you go through, you're not You cannot just leave it to chance.
Yes.
There's danger, and it changes who you are as a person and changes
Yeah.
your brain. The challenge I think people have with being thankful and being grateful, there's still a narrative trying to be passed forward that this is a family. It's not.
It's
People in your
not.
family have your best interest in mind, and they're thinking about you,
Sometimes.
fine, most of the time, in theory,
In
more than
theory.
even the cousin you hate cares more about you than the boss that loves you. Trust me when
Well,
I
and that, I mean, if the culture in your organization isn't great, I don't think either of us are saying just pretend it's great and be grateful. I
no,
don't think that's what we're
not at all.
saying.
Be grateful for the eyes to see the reality of what's going
Yes.
on, for
Yes.
the opportunities, because there's a million. You don't have to you're not stuck. Nobody's stuck. You have choices that you need to be able to make. That
And
might
if you temper
what happened? What was that?
this, it just does it itself. It's the second time it just decides to do it. It if you have to keep the job that you have because of economic reasons, it's tough in the job market. I got it, makes sense.
Right.
But even in that, to be thankful to say, look, I don't love this job. It's providing for me, it's providing for my family, it's providing for my parents, it's providing for whatever it is that it needs to provide for. And so I want to focus on what it can do, even though I already know it's not all of what I need for it to be. For right now, I'm going to focus on the things that it is giving me
Right.
while I keep my eyes open for what might be next.
That's
I
right.
get that. I get that. But if you start letting that company steal your joy, guess what? It will. It will.
And in the meantime, take that company for whatever it's worth. Go look at your EAP. Make sure you're using your benefits. Make
Yes.
sure you're using your
Yeah.
10% discount on
Even if you're a small business, y'all,
there's stuff everywhere.
there's stuff everywhere.
You like be those go get your physicals, go take advantage of your free dental. Go do those things
Get the
so
colonoscopy.
that you and especially check those
Get
pulse.
the colonoscopy. I'm telling you, the best sleep of your life. Go get it.
Everybody needs that.
The
Everybody.
best sleep of your life.
And it's turkey time, so you can go get that. What is that place that gives you the turkey that
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I haven't worked for a place that's given free turkeys in years, but that used to
yeah,
be a
yeah.
thing. Used to be a thing. Come
Oh,
get your free
Omaha,
butterball. They sent me a letter yesterday,
Omaha
Omaha
steaks.
Steaks,
Every year you get
for free. Sign up now. We'll send you four
yeah,
free whatevers. And I'm like, oh,
the
I'm
time
not.
of year.
I mean,
But I think we should keep doing this because we, they're skipping, literally skipping Thanksgiving. People are skipping it everywhere. It's like Halloween, Christmas, and there
Thanksgiving.
is
Come on.
we can be thankful. We
Come
don't have
on.
to pretend about Plymouth Rock and everybody was
No.
happy and or whatever.
Nobody's ever been completely happy. That is a fantasy.
That's
But
right.
the idea of being great. Listen, Jackie and I are so grateful, as an example, that we have people who want to spend time with us when
Yeah,
we
which is
each
really
week.
bizarre.
I mean, it's crazy to me that people want to do that and will comment afterwards and come up to us when they see us and just be like, you all are terrific. We are so grateful.
And our heroes. It's amazing how many people that were like, oh, you know who we are. Like we're so thankful for
This
our
show is not like nationally syndicated. Like
like you said, it's not Opry.
it's not like, live with Kelly and Mark. Like it's
It
not
is
that
like
level.
live with
I
It
mean,
is like
I
live with
mean,
Kelly and
it's
Mark.
the HR world. Come on now. HR world. HR world. Oh,
Maybe we should work on HR World. It'll be a amusement park just for people in HR.
look, y'all, get a job at Mandy's place because they're giving out the gift cards for the turkeys. Hurry up.
Listen, if you don't want your turkey gift card, call me. I'll take it. I'll be
And
grateful for that extra.
she's making turkey with a side of bagels. That's the
That's everybody.
Thanksgiving.
This Thanksgiving, everybody gets a bagel sandwich.
Do we have any mayo? No mayo.
No mayo.
We will be off next week, obviously,
That's
because
right.
next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So thank you all so much. Please be sure to check out our updated website.
I haven't even checked our updated website.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm sorry.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving to